Hello everybody and welcome back to the OSCatch 2021 World Cup Group Stages. I'm JB Hyperion, joined this morning by Elux. How are you doing, my friend?
Doing good, and the marathon block of myself continues. Have 2 more blocks before I finally get a break.
Give this man some energy, but also give your energy to our 2 teams. First up on stream is going to be Philippines versus Malaysia. This match coming out of Group C, Philippines having already won 2 of their first 3 games, so this will be a third victory for them, and almost certainly top their group if they can take victory. Malaysia have only played the 1 game so far against Belgium, which they lost, so still looking to get their campaign off to a winning start. Can still qualify with 2 victories, but against the high seed and the top seed in their group, that's probably going to be quite difficult. You can see the teams on screen right now. Philippines in Team Red and Malaysia Team Blue.
Oh yeah, we've had a really interesting group stage so far. Series of rivalry matches, you can say. It's been a rivalry weekend. A lot of past rivalries and a lot of future ones being made this weekend. Been fun to watch so far. Hopefully get some exciting matches kick off today.
Yeah, hopefully so. I'm sure these great matches will continue. And to everyone saying hello in chat, welcome to you all. Hope you all enjoy the matches, and we're hopefully going to get some very more exciting and intense matches also. We have a block, I think, of 3 matches in consecutive hours coming up for you, then a small break, and then some more later this evening. Also going on at this time will be South Korea versus Taiwan and Russia versus Vietnam. So we'll be sure to give you updates on those matches as they come in. And if this match finishes quickly and one of those is still going on, we will of course switch over to one of those matches also.
That South Korea versus Taiwan match is going to be interesting. Taiwan's been doing pretty well for themselves so far in groups.
Well, they had a customary tiebreaker against Japan yesterday. It seems like Taiwan are one of those teams that always end up having to do a tiebreaker in groups. It's just a natural law of the world. But Japan also looked quite strong in that match against Taiwan. But here we are in the lobby. Philippines, 3 players. Malaysia, also 3 players. Philippine Capo Roido rolling an 11. Future Miko beating that out with a 48. So it will be Malaysia winning our roll, and they will get to pick first. Philippines will be banning. You can see our map pool on screen here. Noted that there are only 4 maps in the no mod pool for this year's World Cup group stages, down from originally 6. Still 3 picks in the hidden hard rock and double time categories, and of course 1 tiebreaker, which we've seen I think 3 times so far the group stage this year.
Ooh, and Philippines is going to ban no mod 4.
Yeah, so taking the specific no mod pick off the table, I think that's wise. Malaysia in Future Miku have a player that is just exceptionally good at a lot of these converted OS picks, has been playing for a very long time, holds many first place ranks, and team really is very good at rallying around that player. A lot of other old players that have been in the team for a long time, such as Marutatak and Hyper Neko-chan, that are also very good at older converted picks, so I think that's a wise choice to get rid of there. Malaysia, for their part, look like they're going to be getting rid of Hidden 1, Tian Di Kai, which is something we have seen banned a lot, the lower approach rate hidden pick.
Yeah, it just seems like a lot of these teams just do not like that lower approach rate.
Yeah, you can see Roido in the chat from Philippines there saying, I don't even know what Hidden 1 is, but it's always banned. But interestingly, Malaysia don't like Hidden as a... don't dislike Hidden all out, because they will be first picking Hidden 2. They just really don't want to play Hidden 1. So clearly they feel more comfortable on the faster approach rate Hidden. This is a 9.1. It's interesting to see how the difference between like the 9.1 and then I think 8.4 is the Hidden 1 pick, so that small approach rate difference obviously makes a significant impact on the players. But it's going to be Malaysia first picking on Gaku Resolve Hidden 2.
Oh yeah, and really unique circle size, 4.7 coming in this. Usually you see circle size 4, your occasional 4.5, but you rarely ever see a 4.7 coming in.
Yeah, I agree. A lot of rains and also obviously overdose difficulties do come in between like 4 and 4.5. You will occasionally see maps at like 4.8 and 5, but 4.7 is not really a circle size that we would see much of. It can be quite tricky in order to... like if you go into it thinking that it's circle size 5, then you'll probably be a bit more hesitant and focus on precision more than you should. Which is going to be a bit of a problem considering how dense this map is. But if you treat it like 4 or 4.5, then you are going to get caught out by some of these fruits, which are just a little bit smaller. You're going to be not quite... you're going to be dashing slightly too early and missing those slider ends, which is obviously going to break combo.
Looks like
we're getting underway.
Boonray, Roido, and Crowley leading the way for Philippines as Astra, Future Miku, and Muruta looking to kick it off with Malaysia.
Crowley with a very early drop there. Just, like as I said, tried to dash away from that first segment a little too early. Astra Loki also following up slightly with a drop as well. He's going to give Philippines the early advantage.
And it looked like Muruta had an early miss within the first couple notes there.
Bunray had a miss about 50 combo ago as well, which will swing the lead back in Malaysia's favor. Yeah, Astroloki now back at 200 combo, so Malaysia will be getting maximum score per fruit here. It's going to be a little while before Bunray catches back up.
And Future Miku is going to drop. That's going to allow Philippines to start climb back into this matchup as we're approaching the halfway point.
I don't think that on its own is going to give Philippines the lead though, because Bunray has had several misses here. That's a double miss from Team Malaysia though. Marutatak and Future Miko both dropping. That is going to give Philippines the lead very rapidly, with 1/3 of the map still to play for. Roido still holding onto a double S here.
The lone full combo in the match. approaching the final four.
Marutatak and Future Miku both now at 200 combo. The score difference is settled at about 30,000. But there's very little left in the map. We'd need multiple misses from Philippines here to overturn this, I feel. Marutatak is going to be the one that drops though, which is going to extend that score advantage even further in Philippines' favour. And this could be an immediate breakpoint for Philippines.
And with Astro Loki dropping, it is going to be a breakpoint as we head into the final spinner. It's going to be Philippines 1, Malaysia 0.
Yeah, so great play from Roido, as expected. Double S hasn't missed many fruits at all so far this tournament and is looking to continue in that fashion. Crowley with a miss right at the very beginning, but then performed excellently to not let that settle. Bunray, a little bit of a tough start towards the beginning, but otherwise recovered nicely. Malaysia did not play badly at all. Some great combos, especially there coming out of Astro Loki, but unfortunately, just a few too many misses, letting Philippines take that first break point.
Yeah, and with Roido looking strong and hidden, makes you wonder if Philippines is going to stick with that.
Well, there is one hidden pick still available, but it looks like they're going to be going to Double Time. Double Time 2, which is Shirayuki no Princess Wa.
Personally, my favorite Double Time map in the pool. Sekirei taught me how to make platters. Always makes amazing Double Time platters.
Doesn't always pick the best song, though, unfortunately.
Yeah. Don't let them catch you saying that about this one, though.
I mean, it's live now. I can't take it back. The world knows.
Looks
Philippines will be looking to
Kielzu's
extend their advantage to 2-0 if they can win this. And as you said, Kielzu and Rusty coming in place of Roido and Crowley. Malaysia looking like they're going to be fielding an unchanged team here.
Malaysia's going to be looking to answering back with a breakpoint of their own. Perhaps we could see a match of trading breakpoints.
To answer a question from chat, did Philippines pick this because Malaysia is weak at double time or because VTubers? I wouldn't say Malaysia is particularly weak at double time, but Philippines are exceptionally strong at double time. So I think there is some strategy involved and they're not just picking it because VTuber, haha. So whilst we're waiting for the players to load into this one, just a quick recap on some of our other games going on. In Russia versus Vietnam, Vietnam have lost their first pick in the immediate breakpoint against Russia on Hidden 2. So that's 1-0 to Russia. South Korea have also beaten Taiwan on their first pick, Hard Rock 1, so they're also at 1-0. So currently teams leading, Russia against Vietnam 1-0, Philippines versus Malaysia, which is this match, 1-0, and obviously South Korea versus Taiwan.
Ooh, and so far all three matches have been breakpoints so far.
That is an interesting observation, you are correct. There was a game last night between Sweden and Argentina where both teams won their first pick, and then I think there were 6 breakpoints in a row. So it got to kind of like 4-3, with like every team, like teams always losing their own pick and winning on their opponent's pick until the very final game, which was I think 5-3 in Sweden's favour.
Ooh, and Hyper Neko-chan and Pichu is coming in for Malaysia as we are waiting for all players to get that no-fail mod set up.
I'm not sure if there was an issue with either Astro Loki or Marutatak's stream, because there was some mention of a player having to restart the game. So I'm not sure whether this is a tactical switch or whether they just had to put a player in to account for not running out of time. But as you said, it is a 2 roster switch from both sides in the end. Future Miku going to be opting for Hidden. Just a visual mod, doesn't give or reduce score in any way when put onto double time and hard rock. Everyone else just going to be opting to stick to double time only.
Ooh, and Pichu struggling to get comfortable there in the beginning as we see a triple miss from Malaysia with Philippines hitting that 200 combo mark, and that score is going to start growing fast in their favor.
Yeah, that triple miss was very unfortunate. Philippines perfectly placed, just about to hit all 200 combos to get that maximum score per fruit. They're really cranking up the score difference now, almost 100,000. It's going to increase further as Pichu now drops again multiple times. Just not really accounting for the increased speed of the platter, and is just kind of stopping a little bit shy, over dashing in places. Meanwhile, the Triple FC continues on the side of Philippines as we get to the 1/3 mark. Bunrei holding on to that double S. Rusty and Kielzu both with one droplet miss apiece. Hyperneko-chan and Pichu going to drop multiple times once again.
Aside from that early miss by... aside from that early miss by Future Miku, they end up dropping as well, as Philippines is still holding that triple full combo.
Yeah, coming to the halfway mark now, 700 combo coming up for all players on the side of Philippines as Hyperneko-chan drops once more. The score difference is really cranking it now. Kielzu will be the first to miss in Philippines, but it is traded again by Pichu. Still 2 full combos on the side of Philippines.
About the final third of the map to go, and it is going to take a complete meltdown at this point by Philippines if Malaysia wants to get back into this pick.
Yeah, Hyperneko-chan just dashing away from one of those vertical slider streams, just a little bit too fast and missing. Pichu building that accuracy back up, but is really not having the best of times here. Future Miku with just a singular miss, but compared to the remaining 2 FCs at 1,000 combo now from Rusty and Bunrei on the side of Philippines. As I said, Malaysia not a particularly weak double time team, but Philippines always got to be accounted for when you think about great double time and speed players.
And as soon as Hyperneko gets back up that 200 combo, they end up dropping it. And Philippines is going to end up taking this point with a huge score margin difference.
Bunrei is going to lose the double S right at the very end, just a small droplet making its way past the plate there, but I think that is still going to be a double FC if Rusty and Bunrei can hold this towards the end, and they do. So yeah, that is a fairly massive score difference at the end, about 400,000. Pichu recovered really nicely towards the end with that 530 combo, but unfortunately just struggled throughout the early stages. Very impressive performance by Philippines.
Man, Malaysia is going to have to figure out something quick if they want to answer back, otherwise this match is going to be slowly drifting out of their control.
Yeah, so Malaysia first picked Hidden and didn't quite go brilliantly. Don't know whether they feel the same about the remaining Hidden pick, Hidden 3, or whether they opt to go for something else at this point. But double time, they definitely need to stay away from. Philippines have 2 more picks in that double time bracket, and they looked very, very strong.
Yeah, if I was Malaysia, I would be going for a no-mod pick here. Do something safer, try and get a point on the board. See our wonderful referee just reminding all players, even if they are confident that they will not fail, anything can happen, and highly suggesting that all players take that no-fail moderator.
Yeah, I don't suppose any players will fail purely because of difficulty at this stage, but lag spikes and disconnects and things can happen, so it doesn't really cost anything to put no-fail on. So, yeah, best not to take the risk.
Yeah, I fully agree with that. Malaysia's taking a little bit of time with this pick, and I do not blame them. currently facing 2-0. Ooh, they're gonna go with Hard Rock too. Rampage.
So we thought no mod might be a safe option, but they are gonna go with the Hard Rock.
Haven't had any luck with Hidden or Double Time. Maybe Hard Rock is going to be Philippines Kryptonite as we see Kakamine Rin coming in for Philippines.
As far as Hard Rock picks in this group stage bracket go, I would say this is one of the more kind of standard Hard Rock converts. Like the original map is not hugely complicated. It's quite dense and fast, but there's no like hugely annoying snaps or really odd patterns, and there aren't the converted difficulty, odd spacings and kind of randomness that you would maybe see from those. So if they're going to go for Hard Rock, I think this is probably the safest of the three Hard Rock options.
A lot safer than that Hard Rock 1 pick. There's really difficult jumps in that one.
You can see Future Miko that are saying, is it really necessary to put no fail? Well, I imagine if you have over 2,000 first place scores, many of which are with Hard Rock, then you probably aren't going to fail a platter with Hard Rock. But yes, it is required to use no fail on all maps for this tournament.
Ooh, Kakamine Rin, Kyosu, and Future Miku opting to choose Hidden with Hard Rock. The other three just choosing that base Hard Rock no fail modifier.
Just waiting to sync up all players, and there we go, underway once again.
And can Malaysia find Philippines Kryptonite here? 100 combo in and all players looking good, but Kakamine Rin is going to be the first to drop.
Yeah, we saw a very small accuracy drop from Hyperneka-chan and Pichu, which gave Philippines an early lead, a very small one. But that combo break is going to be much more significant. Pichu's going to drop closer to 200 combo now, so Philippines will take the score back as everyone catches up.
And Pichu's going to drop again, and Philippines are going to start getting into the driver's seat with this map.
Slow sections like these where there's a large gap between notes and the high approach rate makes it very difficult to react. You need to kind of memorize where each note's going to fall. Much harder than you might otherwise think, and certainly much harder than they are on the standard difficulty without any modifications.
Pichu building combo back up, getting closer and closer to that 200, but they drop, and that bleeding is going to continue for Malaysia as Philippines is racking up the score with Future Miku dropping.
Yeah, a little bit of uncharacteristic miss from Future Miku as Pichu drops again. Hyperneka-chan still holding on to that really impressive combo, but aside from that early miss from Kagamine Rin, there is really no faulting Philippines right now. Bunrei still holding on to a double S. Kyozu with, I think, a singular droplet miss.
Pichu missing again as we're approaching the end of this map, and
that's quite a lot of misses from Pichu, actually. They've really decreased that accuracy down to 97% now. Hyperneka-chan finally going to break that fairly impressive full combo towards the end, and Philippines have run away with this one in the end.
And it is going to be 3-0 in favor of Philippines with their pick coming up. See that double S coming in from Bunrei. Backed up by the teammate Kyosu with the full combo. Kagamine Rin with that 1 miss, but Pichu with that 16 miss. Just struggling there at the end.
Yeah, I mean, it's nervous being an unseeded team going against a high or a top-seeded team, knowing that you've already had one break point. Your second pick is also not going well. Like, Malaysia could have played really, really, really well on that, but when the whole opponent team only drops one fruit, there's really no way you can win unless you just get 3-4 combos.
Boonray, Philippines going with double time 1 as you like it. They had a huge victory with their first double time pick. Looking to make it a second one as Crowley's coming in.
Yeah, very sensible from Philippines, considering how big the score difference was on double time. They're targeting that perceived weakness of Malaysia's.
Looks like we're going to see Boonray, Crowley, and Rusty for Philippines, Astro Loki, Future Miku, and Pichu for Malaysia. Malaysia, they're gonna need to figure out something. They're about to be facing match point if they don't get together.
Yeah, interesting that Crowley and Rusty have come in for this one. Not that they're bad double time players, but I would certainly have expected to see Roidu and Kielzu in front of them. Maybe they just feel that it's good to give everyone a little bit of rest, everyone to get their due and get some practice on things for later on.
See a quick last-second substitution as Green Ghost comes in from Malaysia. Their first time appearing in this match.
Yeah, so a victory here on their pick for Philippines will put them at match point. Malaysia still looking for their first point in the match.
Man, I'm still not used to seeing that low of approach rate for a double time map, 7.5.
Yeah, very kind of standard entrance level double time for most people will be platters at AR8, which takes us to just under 9.7. 7.5, a little bit more comfortable for people that have not really read any double time before, 9.3.
The approach rate may be a bit more comfortable, but this map sure isn't with its patterns. A lot of places where players can find themselves missing.
Everyone navigating past 100 combo with no difficulties. We'll see if they can all make it to 200 as well. But Pichu, it is going to be the first to drop at that 150 combo mark, giving Philippines the advantage.
Not the end of the world as it was before that 200 combo, but that is going to hurt significantly more as the score is going to start increasing even more for Philippines.
Yeah, it's important to note as Future Miku drops once again that the scoring system scales, I think, logarithmically up to 200. So the longer you spend at low combo, the more score you're actually losing. Green Ghost's going to miss as well. Crowley's going to see the first drop on the side of Philippines, but Pichu just gets 200 combo and then immediately drops again. So nobody on Team Malaysia holding a significant combo at this point, and they can see the score difference is already over 100,000 points. Rusty's going to drop at the beginning of that section. Bunray still holding on to the double S as we approach the halfway mark. Crowley going to drop once again.
Future Miku and Green Ghost getting up to a 200 combo. Future Miku's going to drop. Same with Crowley, Pichu, and Green Ghost. Boonray, the lone full combo in the match, and a double S at that.
Yes, so there are some mistakes coming out of Philippines, but there are just significantly more coming out of Team Malaysia. We see that triple team drop right there. Green Ghost and Pichu missing once again. And Bunray just doesn't look like anything is falling off the side of that plate. Still holding on to a double S at 700 combo now. Rusty going to drop as well, but is backed up. Traded by Pichu.
Another drop by Future Miku, and Philippines, they won that first double time pick, and it looks like they're about to win this next one. Approaching the end of the map as Pichu finds another miss, and Boonray still holding strong with that double S.
Still got this last guitar solo to nail. The Philippines are certainly the victors here, but we're all watching onto Bunray's screen to see if we can get that double S, and it is secured.
Philippines 4-0. Match point, Malaysia. You would think that they would go no mod here as they've tried every other mod pool and nothing's been working out for them so far.
In our other ongoing games, South Korea have marched to match point also. They are currently leading Taiwan 4-0. Russia have lost 1 point to Vietnam, but they're leading 3-1. Pretty much all of our matches that have just been ongoing have all been playing double time. We've had 2 DT1s and 1 DT3.
Malaysia is on the clock to pick. Do not blame them if they take a little extra time with this one. They are facing match point after all.
Yeah, it's going to be very hard for them to come back into here knowing that they've lost Hidden, they've lost Hard Rock, they've lost Double Time. Like, in theory, as you said, Hit No Mod should be their kind of go-to selection, but it's not like Philippines are weak at No Mod either.
Mm-hmm.
The unfortunate thing for Malaysia is that none of their games have really been super close where they could think, if we did that same map or if we did another map very similar to it, then the score could have been different. And they are finally going to take your advice and go for No Mod 1, Elux.
And No Mod 1, usually the safer of the No Mod picks as seen in previous tournaments. Approach rate 9.1, a little bit faster for your rain, not too much as you typically see an approach rate of 9 for your rains. And it looks like Kagamine Rin, Boonray, and Rusty looking to close this out for Philippines. Uritata Attack, Future Miku, and Pichu trying to get a point on the board for their team. Hoping to answer back with this No Mod 1 pick. It is a bit longer map, coming in at 3 minutes 50 seconds, so a couple misses in the beginning will not mean the end of the world for either team. It is a jog, not a sprint. Ooh, and in our other matches going on, Vietnam won their Hidden 3 pick. It was a close match by 17,000. Russia currently winning 3-2 in that series.
Yeah, they'll have next pick though, so that could put them to match point. But if they get broken there, that's 3-all with Vietnam to picks next. So we can hopefully go over to that game once we are done with this one, because that's cooking up to be a very interesting match.
Possible tiebreaker hype in the making.
And now that you've hyped it up, it's not going to happen. Just gotta be quiet and let it happen. Let's uncurse it. There will be absolutely no chance of a tiebreaker whatsoever. There we go.
None whatsoever.
But here we go, getting underway with game number 5, potentially the final pick from Malaysia here. Philippines on match point, looking for one more victory to have a clean sweep of 3 victories from 3 matches from this 2021 Catch World Cup group stage. Malaysia really need to get some points on the board and start a recovery.
After that first spinner, Philippines with a small score lead. Coming out of the second spinner, that score lead is going to still be in the favor of Philippines as we're approaching the 200 combo mark. All players holding strong so far.
Yeah, as you said, this one's one of the longer picks in the pool at almost 4 minutes. So singular misses aren't going to have too much of an impact, but the longer this goes on without any player missing, the more that pressure is building. Only 3,000 point difference between the teams, which is, as you said, due to those 2 early spinners.
400 combo in, all players still holding strong. Triple double S on the side of Philippines right now. Future Miku, the only one with the double S on Philippines. Malaysia.
Yeah, Maruta attack with 1 droplet miss and Pichu with, I think, 2. Not making too much of a difference. This is all going to come down to who blinks first and secures that first drop.
Yeah, as we see that combo racking up higher and higher, the higher that goes, the more the nerves are going to come into play. Approaching 800 now, all players still holding strong, and Pichu is going to be the first to drop for Malaysia.
Yeah, really unfortunate. Just dashed away from that repeat slider. Repeat just a tiny bit too early, unfortunately. Everyone else hitting 900 combo. Still going strong, coming up to that 1000 if they just passed the halfway mark. Pichu can rebuild combo fairly quickly because this is a fairly dense map, but it's going to extend the score difference a bit, and we will need to see at least 1 miss from Philippines to allow Malaysia back in here.
Four-digit combos on the board. Nerves of steel by Philippines. Boonray still holding on to that double S.
Yeah, Kagamine Rin with just a single droplet miss as Pichu misses once again, not where Malaysia needed the miss to come from. Rusty is going to find a drop though. There is a potential for Malaysia to come back into this one.
But Future Miku is going to drop right before that break, and Philippines can see it.
Yeah, they know that Maruta attack is the only one still holding on to a double, to that FC, with 2 players, Kagamine Rin and Bunray, holding on to the FC on the side of Philippines. Bunray still with that double S. 1/4 of the song, about 40 seconds still to go. Pichu has built back up to 200 combo nicely. Future Miku does the same. Rusty also. Maruta attack is finally going to lose that FC, so no full combos remaining on the side of Team Malaysia now. Philippines free again to run away with this one, I feel.
Oh yeah, that drop by Future Miku all but seals the deal in this matchup, as it, barring any disconnects, appears that Philippines is gonna take this match 5-0. And Boonray is going to add another double S to their already impressive collection so far this match, as Philippines wins 5-0, sweeping their group stages 3-0.
Yeah, well played to Team Philippines. Just too strong for Malaysia this time around. To give you a little update on South Korea versus Taiwan, South Korea have also secured a 5-0 victory, but 3 of those 5 matches, I think the score difference was under 100,000 points, and on 1 it was under 10,000 points. So Taiwan feeling a little bit unlucky to not take at least 1 point off the current back-to-back world champion holders, South Korea. We also have Russia versus Vietnam, which is ongoing, currently still 3-2. They're currently playing their 6th game, and we'll look to switch over to that match as we can do so.
Man, if you're Philippines, you've got to be overjoyed right now. Not only beating out Malaysia and Belgium, but beating out Italy.
Yeah, they made Italy look kind of very average yesterday. Italy did bounce back and put on a very strong performance against Belgium, but they looked a bit out of sorts against Philippines. And they're going to be taking the top spot in that group for certain, which is very, very helpful because they're going to be playing against the 2nd place team in Group F. And the winner of that group is almost certainly going to be China. So the winner of Group C manages to avoid China for as long as possible. So either Italy or Belgium is probably going to have to go up against China, and that's going to be a very tough ask.
Yeah, and against a powerhouse like China, really, unless you're South Korea, and even them, like, nobody wants to go against a team that strong.